Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast. This is the podcast where we have digital discussions from the worlds of TV, film, pop culture, sports, everything really. Depending on the guests, we talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On Twitter, you know me as PD Beats. Season 3 of Ozark has taken the world by storm, and we are speaking to an actor you'll recognize from Ozark. He plays Agent Trevor Evans. We're with McKinley Belcher III. McKinley, welcome to Popternative, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I mean, first off, it's not the first time we've seen your character. He's been around Ozark, but, an amazing role in season 3. Congratulations to you and the cast, man. It was fantastic.
Thank you. It's been great to see how, well it's been received. I think this is, a lot of people saying their favorite season, so that's a cool thing to hear.
It's one of those things where, it gets better every season.
Yeah, that's a good sign. You don't want it to go on the down ticket.
We're going to try, obviously, I've watched it. We're going to try to get into it without kind of spoiling a lot of things, but there's definitely some stuff I want to talk to you about, specifically about kind of diving into Ozark. But before we get into that, when did you decide that you want to be a storyteller?
Oh, that's a really amazing question. I think that the first time I was sort of introduced to that as a sort of means of expression was in undergrad. I went to Belmont University for undergraduate school, and a friend of mine was doing a play called Raisin in the Sun, and she sort of wrote me into auditioning for it too. That was the first play I ever did. It was just a unique experience of being in front of a live audience and telling a story and sort of being wrapped up in it yourself and watching people in the audience be raptured as well. So
yeah.
I would say that's the first time I actually thought about it. Then there are a series of, my mom sent me the movie Antoine Fisher. That was the first time I saw a movie where I was I could do that. I saw some of myself in that character. And then I've always written poetry and played music, so that those are also means of storytelling. But
no, absolutely.
I think all those things combined are sort of what led me to wanting to be a storyteller.
For sure.
Storytelling.
Yeah, no, but it's funny because you think about it, it's all like music, film, writing. It's all we're all telling stories here.
Absolutely, and now we can add writing into the mix too. That's awesome storytelling.
Absolutely. So your character is a pain in the butt for the birds.
Okay, that's one way of looking at it.
Right, that is one way of looking at it. Talk a little bit about kind of the development on and kind of transformation of Agent Trevor Evans, because, he's been through a tough time throughout the season. He's kind of on this case with the birds, but there's definitely been kind of a lot of growing for the character, so to speak, and from season 2 to season 3 specifically.
Absolutely. I feel like if we go way back to that first episode or 2 of season 1, you meet a sort of agent who's very much by the book, and his counterpart, his partner Roy Petty, is the one who's sort of the loose cannon and going any means necessary. And I think through his engagement with Roy and sort of trying to be by the book with the birds and learning that that's a constant failure, he sort of learns that he has to sort of go through alternate means and maybe take the gloves off a little bit and play a little dirty in order to sort of get what is ultimately what he thinks is right.
Yeah, but
you see a lot this season, especially after in season 2 they kill Roy Petty, and then he really takes the gloves off and he's well, no holds barred. We're gonna go for this.
What do you kind of think about because Agent Trevor Evans is on this case, and then Agent Maya Miller, who's played by the fantastic Jessica Francis Dukes, she's amazing. She came in, and you know what? I talked to her on my show prior as well, and she was a fan of the show before getting on the show, right? She was watching season 1 and 2. Talk a little bit about your character. There's now more cooks in the kitchen, so to speak, on this case. You know what I mean?
For sure.
And what does your character kind of think about this?
Like I was talking about with the first season, I think he approaches the birds with a lot of compassion, trying to appeal to their needs to keep their families safe, to sort of give them a path through this in which they can come out okay. And then he realizes that just doesn't work. So I think it's quite hard to sort of watch Maya Miller be given so much liberty and go down the same path that he feels like he went down in the first season, knowing that that's not going to be a success because of the nature of who these people are through his eyes.
Yeah.
I think he feels like he's dealing with like a criminal, like someone who's sort of committed to that life.
Absolutely.
Been entrapped in some way.
So I have 3 thoughts / predictions and opinions about Ozark that I want to tell you about right now. And you can literally just be like, okay, cool. Like, you don't have to respond to them, but I just want to let you know them, okay? I got 3 things. I want to talk about them a little bit. And if you can comment on some of them, feel free, right? But you don't have to, okay? All right. Point 1. Ben is not dead. We don't see the body. Crazy stuff's going on here. We don't see the body. Ben is not dead. Ben is not dead. Okay, that's point 1.
Okay.
Okay. Point 2, Jonah is going to be a focal point in season 4, and he is going to he's going to be like the boss. Like, he's going to be doing some crazy things. There's going to be a lot of crazy things to do with that character.
Yeah, he's actually one of my favorite characters. I feel like we haven't seen a character like that. And he's so sort of idiosyncratic and unique. And I think from like the very beginning of the show to wherever this goes, he's probably going to have the most dramatic change.
Yeah, but I think there's going to be a focal point there because obviously like Ben came in the picture and Helen had a big role this season and they were kind of the focal points of season 2. And you know, Charlotte and Jonah were around a lot, you know what I mean? Especially with Helen's daughter, but I just feel like Jonah is going to be pivotal for season 4.
That would make me happy.
Yeah. Third thing, it's more of like something I hope to see.
Okay.
I want to get to know Nelson a little bit more. I want to get to know the hitman a little bit more. Yeah, because now, you know, like, well, spoilers. I mean, you know, the birds are like they're the mob now.
They are. They talk about throwing yourself into the deep end. Like they really are sort of going for it now.
And Nelson's probably going to have a big role next season.
Yeah.
He's probably going to have a big role.
Yeah, I would think so. I mean, at the very least, he's going to be intimately involved with whatever they're doing because they sort of push themselves into like the epicenter of what's happening with the cartel.
We're like kids in the candy store right now with this, man. Like we're talking about because it's funny though because here's the thing: you work on the show, you start as an actor on the show, but a lot of you are also fans of the show. Like you love the show.
Yeah, that's actually one of the things that's a pleasure. It's like. I mean, obviously, I've done a couple TV shows now, and
The Passage.
Oh yeah, Fox. But like, of course, you enjoy the job, and like the experience you have on set is one thing. But it's such a joy to be able to have like a sort of second string to that experience, and like to watch the show and really love watching it.
But you know the term like Mecca, iconic, you know what I mean? Phenomenon, right? Like.
Okay.
It's getting pretty close that we can consider Ozark part of that, man, because so many people are watching that, and it really is Mecca television, man.
That's cool to hear. I hope.
But if you think about it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I hope by the time we finish, however many seasons we go, I hope it can be included in the conversation with like shows like Breaking Bad and The Wire. 3
things kind of make Ozark, I think, very like worth watching. 1, the look, what it looks like. Yeah. 2, the story. And 3, the characters. The characters in this show are just so interesting and dynamic. From Ruth to Darlene to Wyatt to, you know, Agent Trevor Evans. You guys have a lot of like, some of these characters have a lot of secrets that they're not telling you about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The look of the show is actually something that I when you're doing the scenes, you can sort of feel what's happening, but you don't know what they're going to do in terms of like the look and the visuals of the thing. So like the sort of blue patina that's over everything, and this sort of gloom and like the dread that's just brought on by what you see is something that I didn't even know until I watched the first season.
No, absolutely, it is crazy. But look, but like, do you agree also like this, like the about the characters? Like, it's crazy some of these characters, how like complex they are.
Absolutely. And then when you have actors like Jason Bateman and Laura Linney and Julia Garner, Janet McTeer, feeling those characters, they become even more alive.
Now I gotta give a shout out to my friend Kevin L. Johnson, who plays Sam Dermody, because I love Kevin. I know you don't have specific scenes with Kevin in season 3.
I don't. Yeah.
But you know.
And I mean, I know Kevin, obviously, but Sam and Trevor haven't sort of crossed paths in all 3 seasons yet.
But you know Kevin, like you've seen Kevin on set and everything.
Oh yeah. We hung out when we had the very first premiere in New York for the first season.
He is like I was hoping like his character, like every time his character showed up, like I did want more. Like I wanted more Sam Dermody. Like there was some cool stuff there.
Yeah. But I think he's linked to this journey.
He's been there since season 1.
Him and his mom.
Oh, the ring of the finger. So I did a panel episode with him, Melissa, and Jessica. We did 3 of us at the same time. It was pretty cool.
Cool. Jessica and I have done plays together in New York, so we're actually really good friends.
But that's where you also learn your craft, right? Like in the theater.
Absolutely. I mean, talking about sort of long form storytelling, like when we do the stuff for TV and film, it's someone else's job to cut it up and sort of deliver it to an audience. And
100%.
When we're on stage, that sort of task is put in our hands. We have to sort of give it to the audience from beginning to end. And
it's crazy.
And pleasure is palpable.
It is. It's palpable. It's a good word. What's next for McKinley Belcher III? I mean, it's a quarantine right now, but were there any kind of projects that you were kind of working on before everything happened? Is anything coming out that you're in? Like, plug away.
Sure. I was really excited that, like, just before all of this happened, I was making my Broadway debut, a soldier's play at Roundabout Theater Company. In fact, when all of this art sort of went down and things started closing down, we were still running. So, like, our run ended early. But in terms of the next things that I have coming out, I'm in a Showtime limited series called The Good Lord Bird, opposite Ethan Hawke. That's going to be out either late spring or I think maybe sometime in the summer this year. It's a sort of, it follows John Brown as he like does the raid on Harper's Ferry and sort of the lead up to the Civil War. I play escaped slave and soldier named Broadnax. So that's a cool one. As soon as production is up and running, which I'm not sure when that is, but I'll be sort of shooting a film or 2. And the rest is up for debate.
And we don't know anything about season 4 of Ozark. I mean, it's status quo right now.
No. I mean, and Netflix plays those things pretty close to the vest. I mean, my guess is that we will. I don't see a world in which they wouldn't pick it up for a season 4. I think Chris Mundy and Jason, they have a specific number of seasons in mind. But obviously the public is not privy to that. But I'm feeling good about it.
So is that a misconception about the industry, McKinley, especially in TV, where you see a show that has maybe 2 or 3 seasons and they decide to end it and people are like, oh no, like I love this show, but maybe it was meant to just have like 3 seasons?
Well, I don't know that anybody's aiming for 3 or for 2 or 3. Unless it's a limited.
Well, Judd Apatow did Love on Netflix. I don't know if you ever saw that, but that's 3 seasons, and they just ended it after 3. I love that show. It was great.
Is it like
It's not a limited series. It was a series. It's like a half an hour like rom-com sitcom. You know what I mean?
Same cast throughout. It isn't like a bunch of like sort of standalone episodes.
No, it's the same cast.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, even we talked about The Passage. We were hoping that was going to come back for a season 2, and we quickly realized that it was not.
That's always tough too, eh? Like,
it is,
because it's like you're excited, you worked a lot on a show, and then you can't make more of it.
Yeah, we thought we would at least get 3 of those because there are 3 books, and the sort of first season was roughly a section of the first book. So like we thought, well, we'll at least get 3.
What was it like working with Zach Morris?
Oh, it was cool, man. It was cool. Yeah, I mean, it was cool to watch him sort of do something very different than what he's.
Well, Paul did Pitch on Fox.
Huh? Yeah.
And dude. Oh, sorry.
Fox has been a home for him for a while.
Yeah, but I loved Pitch, man. I was hoping there was gonna be more seasons.
Yeah, I'm sure he did too.
Yeah, no, but it was. Did you watch a little bit of that? Mark Consuelo's like that was a good show, man.
Once we started working on The Passage, and I actually talked to him about the show because he was very much in love with it. I went back and watched some of it, and it's really good and different than any other shows I've seen on network television.
Oh, it's absolutely. Well, it is crazy. Well, McKinley, thank you so much for coming on the show, man.
My pleasure, man. Thanks.
I had a blast chatting with you. Where can people follow you on social media?
I'm at McKinley B³ on Instagram and Twitter, and that's family.
That's awesome. Well, Agent Trevor Evans, keep being a pest to the birds.
I'll do my best.
Seriously, though, man, all seriousness, congratulations. It's phenomenal. Like, Ozark Season 3 was amazing, dude.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. And until next time, this is McKinley Belcher III and PD Beats signing off. Watch Ozark Season 3 on Netflix right now.
Yes. Appreciate it.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.